a rematch from 2 weeks ago. Galazzi calls out Bullas.
I always get asked this question, oh, is it for show and stuff? No, it is two very large blokes trying to punch each other in the face, and you know it hurts.
Galazzi looking to rein in both players there. Galazzi starts with a left. Bullas comes back with a huge shot.
It is bare knuckle boxing on ice with skates. When you break it down to what it is.
Sam Bullas, and it's right for right from both players. Sam Bullas replies. Bandic just catches Bullas on the chin.
Again, for me growing up, it's what I watched. It's in my blood. It's what I did when I was a bit younger. You know, I've slowed down a bit now with fighting, but it's such a big part of the game.
Galazzi got Bullas' head over his shoulders here, ties him up on the shot there. Good fight there from both players.
I think Bully made some sort of play which I didn't really like in Swindon. So offered to fight, and then when got him grabbed, got him by the shirt with left hand, and I throw a big punch that kind of knocks it back. In that moment, the shoulder dislocates.
Oh!
And I was completely defenseless. I was just
Did you know in that moment it had popped?
Yeah.
Did Sam know or not?
No. Bless him. He really had no idea. And I obviously off the ice, shoulders out. But I saw him at playoff finals weekend, and he made a point of coming up to me and apologising and saying he didn't realise. So and that's that's an example of, and I hold absolutely zero animosity towards him. And if anything, just have respect that, I know he doesn't, he didn't want to see me hurt, I know.
Yeah. Right, Scott, thank you for joining me. Tyler, thanks for joining me. Rupert, thanks for joining me. Do you think that physical side, though, was one of the main reasons, compared to football, which wasn't as physical? Do you think ice hockey, just the intensity of it as well, was a massive reason?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't the, well, I was going to say I wasn't the best at school. I would probably be classed as easily led, quite clever, but easily led. And one of the things that ice hockey gave me was I used to get in a lot of trouble at school for fighting and stuff. But
yeah,
the ice hockey was, you were allowed to fight, and you just sat down for a couple of minutes after it. No.
What age was it that you kind of knew about your dad being a fighter for the team and will stand up for his teammates?
Yeah, well, so I used to, when I got obviously of age, maybe around 10-ish, I used to go to pretty much all my dad's games. And you'd sit in the stands and you'd be as a kid and you'd hear people shout stuff and you'd see my dad fight and you start putting two and two together and realise that maybe he does this does this quite a lot and not many people like him. But yeah, I used to love watching him, and he certainly put bums on seats.
You always kind of had a wee bit of laugh with the guy that you just finished fighting with, or he spoke to him after the game, etc.
And there was one opportunity where one of our guys got hit. We were playing away or something, and I had my first fight.
Yeah.
And again, I don't really think I threw any punches or nothing really that would have done anything. But it was I definitely won the wrestle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that was a bit of a jolt to me to be oh, that was kind of fun, and I didn't get hurt, and it was all right.
And when it come to you playing hockey, was the physical side, obviously with your dad's influence a bit, was the physical side something which really interested you in playing ice hockey? Because it's one of a few sports that you're allowed to be really physical and have fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously watching my dad, you kind of start picking up traits in a way, but I've always been a bigger guy myself, and even since a young age, as soon as you can start, doing body contact, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I was excited to move up to the age group where you start doing it. And yeah, I think it's one of the main kind of attributes of my game. It's just the physical side that I like to play.
Rupert goes long. Nice pass, big hit from Tyler Plews. Freight train coming through the middle, but again, big hit, shoulder to shoulder. Tyler Plews catches Aaron Connolly in through the middle there, but nothing wrong with that. Just comes hard through the middle, catches Aaron Connolly.
What are some of the other reasons why, pardon me, you think that fighting should be a big part of ice hockey and why it has been for so many years? What are those reasons why it should be a part of the game, the pros of it?
Yeah, well, as well as obviously saying the police, and one of the biggest factors is probably just getting the team going in a way. You know, sometimes when games are flat, you know, guys will go out there and they'll try and get a fight going, and that gets the team going. Like, you know, the feeling of someone fighting on your team, it fires you up so much. It just gets that fire going inside you.
If you don't want to get in a fight, don't be a dickhead.
Yeah,
kind of, you know. And the more the fighting is removed, the more people being dickheads might
go up
potentially.
You used to get asked, "Is it real? Was it real when you guys dropped the gloves?" And it's like, well, I mean, I've seen guys teeth falling out and stuff, and going to hospital with stitches and stuff. So there's definitely real. But back to the respect thing, I learned it from it was actually the juniors, and I fought this big, massive, tall guy, way bigger than me, and I kind of got the better of him. And then at the end of the game, my dad came in the dressing room before we even got our kit off. says, "Come with me," and he marched me all the way around the other side of the ice rink and into the dressing room, and found the big guy and told him to come here, and made the two of us shake hands.
Wow, that's a great story.
And I was like, right, okay.
What is the differences you've seen from when you first started fighting, or when you had your fights back in the day, and what it is now? What's the main differences? Because there's been a lot of rule changes, which I'll go into in a sec.
Suspensions, mate. Suspensions is probably the biggest thing. Like, guys are getting suspended just for fighting sometimes now. But yeah, it's just a lot back. But like, I mean, it's not too long ago that I was playing. Like, we were talking about my dad's time, it was years ago, where like people were out there to like police the game.
Yeah.
Now their suspensions are just coming out, and everyone's getting 4 to 20 games. And people just start taking a bit of liability and stuff, and they don't actually they don't feel like, oh, I can't do this because the guy's going to come out after me. He's like, oh, the referee's going to look after me here, so I can kind of do what I want. But yeah, it's changed. It's changed dramatically, to be honest. Even since from me being young to 26 now to even my dad's, like, it's just changed. Every 5 years, it just gets more soft and soft, I think.
There's always positive and negative change that comes. Like, for example, there's, you know, players, from what I watch, players are less aware of how to keep themselves safe on the ice these days, because there's less fighting, there's less checking, there's, you know, like I sustained probably one borderline minor concussion in my career. You know, that was because when I was a kid, I knew people were potentially going to try and take your head off. But they didn't necessarily want to hurt you, but, you know, that was the game. It's like, if you were on the ice and you were anywhere near the puck, someone's going to check you.
Yeah, that physical element is such a draw for the sport. You know, that's what the sport's about. And I think, obviously, understandably, with concussions and CTE and problems with the brain after big impacts, it's very important. But it's a hard one. You know, it's happened in the NFL. It's coming over to ice hockey now as well, and I think it's a tough line to draw. Understandably, for player safety, it's very important. But at the same time, it's an element that makes the game exciting and makes it popular to watch. So I think it's just trying to find that margin, that line. But either way, you know, it's very difficult to draw.
What would you say to those people then who think that fighting should be removed from hockey? What would you say to counteract them?
Go away and watch another sport. Simple as that. Just go away. It's like somebody saying boxing, let's get our professional boxers to start wearing headgear, or you know what I mean? It's like, when you sign up for a sport, you sign up for the possibility that you're going to get in a fight, or You know what I mean? You're signing up for a sport that's really physical, and you could get really badly injured as well. So if you're not wanting that to happen to you, play another sport. And if you're watching ice hockey and fight happens and you don't like it, go watch another league.